Hello everyone, I'm Chase of Rocky Mountain ATV giving you a closer look at the Velocity 5.5 and the 4.5 goggle from Leatt. All right everyone, thanks for checking in with us today. As you can see, we have the new Velocity 5.5 and the 4.5 goggle from Leatt. These are two brand new goggles in their lineup. These are going to be a more budget-friendly option. You have the 6.5, which came out a little while ago. That's a premium option. That's going to run you anywhere from 80 to 90 bucks. When that goggle came out, it's got a lot of cool features, and it's been really popular. What I'm glad to see is that they've taken some of the big features out of their 6.5, and we'll talk about those, and they have put those into the 5.5 and the 4.5. You're just going to be at a lower price point here. So with the 5.5, you're anywhere from 60 to 70 bucks, and with the 4.5, you're going to be 40 to 50. It just depends on the lens option that you decide to go with these two goggles. But before we dive in, we talk about the features. Let's just talk about fit real quick. So I've actually ridden in both these goggles. Leatt had a ride day not too long ago. I was there, so I got to try both these on. They're a comfortable goggle. I did notice, and this is just me, and everyone's going to be a little bit different, I did notice I got a little bit of pinching on the bridge of my nose, but that's why goggles aren't a pair line, and we have our fit guarantee. No matter what goggle you buy, if you're not happy with how they fit, you can send them back in brand new, unused condition, and we will give you free shipping both ways on your first exchange. But with these two, I'm going to point out the differences to help decide which one you feel is going to be best for you. But just looking at it, I've got a 5.5 here on my left, 4.5 on my right. First thing you're going to notice here is with the 5.5, you have an outrigger system. You're not going to get that on the 4.5. If you're not familiar with outriggers, let me explain why those are nice to have. So with this set to my left here, this is the 5.5, you can see how the strap of the goggle is connected to the outrigger. What that allows you to do is when you put the goggle on, it just helps give a little bit tighter seal to the rider's face because the strap's pulling on the outrigger versus the actual frame of the goggle. When you look at this set to my right, this is the 4.5, you notice how that strap's connected right to the frame of the goggle? Well, because it's connected there versus an outrigger, it tends to pull the frame of the goggle up off the rider's face just a little bit. So you're not going to get as good of a seal with a goggle without outriggers versus a goggle that does have them. So that's the big difference there. But if we start out, if we look at the goggle here, so the 5.5 you'll notice, you've got triple layer face foam with dual density. It's going to do great when it comes to sweat management. You got a 45mm strap. As you can see, a lot of cool colorways to choose from. And then you're going to have silicone here on the inside. That's just going to keep the goggle in place, so it's not going to slide around once you have it on. When you look at the 4.5, here's another difference between the two. You actually have a 40mm strap instead of a 45, so it's not going to be as thick, but also you've got a dual layer face foam versus that triple layer. So when it comes to sweat management, 4.5 is not going to be as good as the 5.5. But let's talk about some of the big features here, and that's going to be with their lens. Now with the 6.5, if you haven't yet, watch that product spotlight because we give all the details on that goggle. That goggle does have a quick release change system for the lens. These two goggles are not going to have that. That is one thing that you are sacrificing by going to the lower price point. But I actually was pretty surprised, even though this is an injection molded lens, and I'll pop one out here in just a second, changing the lens in and out, it's actually not that bad considering. But with this lens here, to pop it out, it's really simple. You're literally just going to pull up, and the lens pops right out pretty dang easy. So what's cool about this lens? This is the same lens that they have in their 6.5 Velocity goggle. And what's cool about that, if you already have a pair of the 6.5s, you want to get the 5.5 or the 4.5, you can interchange the lens between all the goggles. That's not going to be an issue. But what this is a 2.7mm military ballistic grade impact lens. In other words, they call it bulletproof. They actually have a video of them shooting these lenses with a .22 caliber pistol. You see the bullet does not penetrate the lens. So it's a very safe lens to have inside the goggle. Obviously with dirt bikes these days, they're putting out a lot of power, so when it comes to roost, maybe hitting a branch, you want to have as much protection for your eyes as possible, and I really feel like that's what you're getting with this lens from Leatt. So you can see what's cool though, it's actually, you could call it a dual pane lens. So there's actually two layers there, and what's cool about this is between those two lenses, you have an anti-fog treatment. And because that anti-fog treatment's between the two lenses, it's permanent. In other words, it's not going to rub away as you clean these goggles. And when it comes to goggles and fogging, that's a pet peeve that I have. So it is nice that they do have that treatment inside there to prevent those from fogging. You have an anti-scratch coating on these as well. And as you can see, a lot of cool tinted lens options. They do have the iris version. Now the iris lens is going to be a higher price point, and the difference between that and just a standard clear or just a standard tinted lens is just going to help increase the contrast. So when you're riding, maybe there's some shadows on the track or whatever it might be, it's just going to help you have a little bit more depth. So it just makes your visibility a little bit more clear, easier to see certain obstacles. So that's going to be the iris lens option. Now, one other feature that I think is pretty unique about their lens is you'll notice that down here at the bottom, and I'm going to show you right here at the set that's already installed, you have this opening down here in the frame. So the reason that they left that open is that when it comes to water being on the lens or maybe some mud, they wanted to have a way for that water to get off the lens without collecting in the frame. So they left it open down here at the bottom, which is pretty unique. Also, being an injection molded lens is going to be optically correct. And also you notice that with the 5.5 and the 4.5, you're going to have tear-off posts so you can run tear-offs if you do want to. And another cool feature about these is that if you want to run roll-offs, so with a lot of other goggles, if you want to run roll-offs, you have to buy a completely separate set of goggles that have those already attached, but not with these. With the 5.5 and the 6.5, if you want, you can just buy the roll-offs and attach those to the goggles. They just snap right on and you can run roll-offs, so it's pretty cool you can do that. And again, that roll-off system will work for the 5.5 and the 6.5, but keep in mind, it's not going to work on the 4.5. And that is them. That is the 5.5 and the new 4.5 Velocity goggle from Leatt. If you guys have questions or comments about these, you want to hear some more feedback, we want to get that for you, so make sure to leave those questions and comments below. To pick up your next set, you just click on the link or head over to RockyMountainATVMC.com. Remember, all orders over $75 ship free. If you guys like this product spotlight, you want to see more just like it, make sure to get subscribed to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell. I am Chase. We'll see you on the trails.